So there's lots of benefits from doing self-inquiry, and one of them is increasing our capacity for joy. Now you might think, well, when things are going well, of course I'll be happy, of course I'll be joyful. But it turns out that is not the case. And test it for yourself, because I didn't believe it either. I had to test it for myself. But it turns out we have a certain percentage of the time that we're happy, and we have a certain percentage of the time that we're not. And when we've used up our happy time, we will find something to be upset about. Inquiry allows us to stop that process in its tracks and reset so that the upset can be replaced by happiness. So, for example, my husband and I were driving home from a city a couple hours away, and we were going to arrive right around dinner time, a little after. So, as we're driving, I start to get hungry. He stops to take a picture, and I feel inside of me this feeling that says, oh my gosh, can't he just keep going? And I knew it was my hunger talking. So it's perfect time for inquiry. So you start an inquiry by checking to see what happens when I have this thought. Well, when I have this thought that he shouldn't be taking a picture, I start feeling like all the bad feelings in my body from being hungry are due to him. And I feel this tension that I'm putting into our relationship. What happens without that thought? Well, without that thought, there's all these body sensations and there's curiosity about them. Next, can I absolutely know that my thought is true, that he shouldn't take this picture? Well, no, of course. That's not true, that thought. So the next is, can I turn this around? What are some equally true scenarios in this situation? So I think he should be taking that picture. Aha. Well, him taking that picture made me notice just how hungry I was and how grumpy I was becoming. So I reached into the back seat and I ate some cereal. And while, okay, the next day, did I feel as good as if I'd had a normal dinner? No. But I actually took care of the sensation at the moment and fed myself. And the next morning, when I didn't feel my tip-top shape, I noticed that that's okay. I don't have to feel tip-top every time I wake up. I can relax and let my body cycle through its normal rhythms. And it turns out there's a lot of different sensations that are normal to being human. So my day went on just great because I was able to just accept that this is just the way a body feels. So in this situation, I was already feeling this tension in my body. I found something to be upset about. I used inquiry to notice that that wasn't the cause of my upset. And in fact, I could actually do something about the situation, and I did it. It allowed me to recognize that there was benevolence operating completely, and that I didn't have to try to imagine the best scenario and think that's how it had to be. It turns out that a whole range of scenarios are conducive to our joy once we don't have that attachment. Without that attachment, it becomes really clear that we're just making up problems to meet our ratio of upset and happiness. And once we start to notice we don't have to make that ratio, we can expand our capacity for joy.